Let's go. With the release of Tears of the Kingdom and its limited edition, collector's edition, whichever you want to call it, comes the question, which is better between the two limited editions, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? So I just thought we'd make a very quick video here. Let's take a look and find out. They'll go head to head in 5 categories to see which is superior. Initial presentation, shelf presentation, contents, value for money at time of purchase, and the best and worst of each collection. Initial presentations for that wow factor, for when you first get the box and you open it up, see what's inside and how much it blows you away. Before I begin, if you're interested in the details of exactly what's in each box and a bit more of an in-depth look at the contents of each box, I do have another video, links in the description, if you want to take a look at that. For now, the first match, initial presentation. For Breath of the Wild, the initial presentation is quite high, since the outer shell of the casing is immensely beautiful. This view of Hyrule with Link standing at the forefront, promising a large adventure, makes it absolutely gorgeous to look at when you first receive it. Then when you open it, you're immediately greeted by not just the soundtrack, but the game, right at the top, very easy to access. And below that is the Master Sword, which, once you open it up, you do have the highlight of this collection, which is its very large, very well-detailed Master Sword figure. This statue is so well made, so rigid, the flower you could probably mess with, but it's so large in comparison and so well preserved in the packaging that when you first look upon it, you are amazed by the quality of the build. However, the whole process only takes about 3 minutes. You get the disc out, that's great, you get the game out, and then you get this out. Once that's it, that's it. The entire process is very short, very quick, and very snappy, so you can get right to the game, but as far as presentation goes, it just is a little bit quick. For Tears of the Kingdom, the presentation isn't as incredible upon first inspection. The box, while pretty, is pretty plain, so when you do want to look at it, there's nothing really keeping you from just diving straight in. However, once you open the box, the collection becomes a Russian doll with each new layer giving you new and exciting merchandise. In the time it's going to take you to unload all this stuff, flick through the pages, checking out all the beautiful imagery on the packaging, and maybe even trying one of the pins, you're going to find you're going to spend much more time appreciating this collection before you actually start playing the game. Initial point, Tears of the Kingdom collection. Shelf presentation. Next to some of these other classic Zelda games, the Breath of the Wild Limited Edition just stands out so much because of its popping art style that really draws you in. Your eye is naturally drawn towards this bright horizon. As such, when you're going through a catalog, you're always going to linger and take a look once more at the overrun Kingdom of Hyrule. With Tears of the Kingdom, its all black presentation makes it look very stylistic, but it doesn't really draw your eye in an interesting way. While many Zelda covers have high contrast, very busy yet tidy designs, or covers that clue you in on the adventure that's coming ahead, the Tears of the Kingdom is very bland. It kind of just sits on the shelf, and it does exactly that. Especially when put next to Breath of the Wild, even while looking at both, your eyes are naturally drawn in to this more interesting cover. Contents. In terms of quality of the contents, it's a lot more tricky to say because it's going to come down to a bit more of a personal decision. In terms of contents in the box, what the Breath of the Wild Limited Edition comes with is pretty limited, funny enough. You get the game, which does have a reversible cover, the soundtrack CD, which has a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack, and another little mini poster in here. And the highlight, which is the Master Sword statue. By far and away, this is what makes the collection work for Breath of the Wild. But that's also it. It only has those 3 things. It's just the game, the soundtrack, and the Master Sword. And how does that compare to Tears of the Kingdom? Tears of the Kingdom, on the other hand, comes with the game, of course, with a reversible cover, a beautiful steelbook game case, which has beautiful art that is actually on the game card. A set of 4 pins that you can wear on your hat or your scarf, or like most people will do, just leave them in the case. A 200-page art book, and a beautifully made steel poster that is incredibly high quality. The brush strokes and the colors really pop on this thing. And it comes with its own magnet, so you can...
Nice catch, idiot.
And it comes with its own sticker magnet that will stick to the casing, and you can relieve the sticker on the back so you can actually put it up on the wall fairly easily. In terms of breadth of content, you actually get a lot more for Tears of the Kingdom, but you're not getting a beautifully crafted statue of the Master Sword, and you're not getting the CD that you can use in your car or in your work to go home with. I don't really see myself using these pins ever. Not even including the beautiful hidden designs and beautiful artwork throughout the inside of this package. I have to say that the winner for contents is Tears of the Kingdom. In terms of value, for money, Breath of the Wild was 60 euros at launch, so that means for an extra 40 euros you got the statue and the soundtrack, which isn't a bad deal. Tears of the Kingdom came out when many companies were trying to upgrade their prices from 60 to 70 for standard pricing. As such, that's going to be taken into consideration. So even if the game is just as good as Breath of the Wild, it's still $10 more than it, which means technically value for money would be going to Breath of the Wild for the game. For the collection, assuming these were both worth the same amount, Tears of the Kingdom is being sold for 60 extra, while Breath of the Wild was sold for 40 extra. For 40, you got a soundtrack and a statue, while for 60, you got pins, a steel book game case, a steel art poster, and a 200-page art book. Comparing the value of these will differ from person to person, of course. I imagine people who are very much into art and behind the scenes will be incredibly drawn to the art book, and for people who love to display their collections, the statue is incredibly eye-catching. However, the question of, is this worth 50% more than this? And based on what you're getting, it isn't. Point 2, Breath of the Wild. The best and worst. For the best in Breath of the Wild, despite its incredibly small selection, I'm actually torn between two options. The Master Sword is the obvious choice for its best, but I'm actually wondering if the actual case is worth its consideration for best. The beauty of this tri-cover panoramic of the land of Hyrule is just so enthralling and looks so great on the shelf. I think it just is one of the best pieces you can have in your collection. It's so expressive and tells you everything you need to know about the game just from one look at the box. Something Tears of the Kingdom cannot boast. However, it cannot be overstated just how beautiful and gorgeous and solid this statue is. So I have to give this as the best of the collection it has to offer. It's actually difficult to pick what's the worst of the Breath of the Wild box, because I love the box with the Japanese font. I think the soundtrack sounds beautiful and has a gorgeous cover, has this gorgeous hidden poster. I guess I'm gonna have to say the weakest aspect of Breath of the Wild, however, was the fact that it did not come with any kind of steel bookcase for the game. I'm the kind of guy who likes his steel cases. So the lack of one in the Breath of the Wild Limited Edition kinda kills it for me on that regard. Is that fair? Eh. If it isn't fair, how about the styrofoam that holds the Master Sword? And even then, it actually does a great job. But I guess it's not markedly interesting? For Tears of the Kingdom, its best is definitely this art book. Seeing the gorgeous pages fold up before you and seeing the designs behind this so terribly interesting world, and having it right here, compact, and fits in the collecting case, it's fantastic. The worst, however, is definitely the pins. When they were initially revealed, the assumption was that they would have different colors or different markings, and while they are distinct from each other, the coloring makes it kind of homogeneous. So, point to Breath of the Wild. It's a close call, but for 3-2, the winner is Breath of the Wild. While I do think Tears of the Kingdom has a beautiful, beautiful collector's edition with all of the hidden imagery, excessive art where there didn't need to be any is just wonderful. And incredible presentation when you first open it. I do really think it's one of the best collector's edition I've gotten. However, Breath of the Wild's simplicity, shelf appeal, high quality while at a very reasonable price just takes it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next time, we're gonna find out why, if you've already got this, why would you want to get this? Stay tuned and we'll find out.